Good morning. Today I'll be reading The Sword in the Stone. Walt was a lonely page living in the great stone castle of Sir Ector. Nobody called Walt by his proper name, which was Arthur. Everybody called him just Walt. Sir Ector had a big lazy son named Kay, who liked to stretch out in the sun and doze. His favorite spot was a grassy bank near the drawbridge. But poor Walt had to work and work. He scrubbed pans and scoured pots in the castle cookhouse. He helped the castle carpenter. He polished armor for the armorer. He swept the castle stables clean. Poor Walt, he was all tired out. But one day there was a clap of thunder in the great hall of the castle. There was a puff of smoke, and there stood a strange old man. "My name is Merlin. I am a wizard," he said. "Walt needs lessons, so I have come." Sir Ector and Kay laughed and hooted. "Lessons? What does Walt need lessons for?" "Go away, old man," said Sir Ector. Merlin waved his wand, and right there inside the great hall it began to snow. It snowed, and it snowed, and it snowed. Well, Sir Ector changed his mind. He let Merlin stay on and said, "Give Walt lessons if you like." Nobody understood why Walt needed lessons, but Merlin began to give him lessons. He led Walt down to the moat one day, and he waved his wand. Walt began to shrink. He shrank smaller and smaller. Suddenly he changed into a little fish and fell into the water. At first it was great fun. But then a big fish came along. The big fish wanted to catch the little fish for lunch. Poor little Walt, what could he do? He used his head. He hid in a clump of seaweed so the big fish couldn't find him. "Very good," said Merlin. "You learned your lesson, Walt. When in trouble, use your head." Merlin kept on with the lessons. Once he changed Walt into a squirrel. As a squirrel, Walt stored nuts in trees. He learned to be ready for what tomorrow might bring. Another time Merlin changed him into a bird. As a bird, Walt flew high in the sky. And seeing the world from way up there, he learned many things. Walt grew wiser and wiser. But still nobody understood, why did Walt need lessons? One wintry day, a knight came to the castle. He brought news of a great tournament to be held in London. The winner would be crowned King of all England. "A tournament's the very thing we need to choose an English king," said Sir Ector. He thought that Kay would win. And so they all rode off. Kay sat on the prancing horse. His armor glistened in the sunlight. But Walt was just a lowly squire. He rode a plodding donkey all the way to London town. After many days and nights, they came at last to the tournament field. There was a blast of trumpets, and the tilting started. Kay smiled proudly. Soon, with spear and sword, he would fight to win the crown. Suddenly, Walt ran from the field. He had forgotten Kay's sword. It was back at the inn where they had slept. Walt ran as fast as he could. When he got to the inn, it was closed. Poor Walt! Where could he find a sword? He ran and ran. In a churchyard, he saw a marble stone. On it stood a steel anvil, and stuck through the anvil was a gleaming sword. A sword! Walt quickly pulled it out and quickly carried it back to the tournament field. "But that's not Kay's sword," cried Sir Ector when he saw it. Then he saw some letters written in gold on the sword. This is what the letters said: "Whoso pulleth out the sword of the stone, an anvil is rightwise king born of all England." Sir Ector read that, and so did all the other noblemen. Now they knew. The tournament wasn't the thing whereby to choose a king. The sword was. But how could Walt have pulled it out? There must be some mistake. They all went to the churchyard. Walt put back the sword into the stone. Everyone tried, but the sword wouldn't move. Only Walt could pull it out again. So it was no mistake. But kings must be wise. Kings must know many things. How could Walt be a king? Walt was wise enough, and he knew enough. But that's what the lessons had been for, to prepare Walt to be king. And Walt became a great king, known forever after as King Arthur. The end. Thank you for listening.